tried to turn in police officers. They either sent me to mental health, around in circles for mental health to tell me that it's not their job to investigate anything, to pretend that they don't know the protocols when an at-risk adult comes to them, and this is very specific to the homeless. You've got all these programs made to help the homeless, you think. But they don't. They're only helping people in houses. Unless you got a friend or family member who goes in with you. And I can show the people who helped the homeless people who got up and out. And how they helped. Why is there a shortage of DAs? Is it defense attorneys? It's because the law is crooked. Nobody wants to fucking defend a man, especially if he's a poor man. His guilt is fucking sealed before he ever goes to court. Who would want to be a defense attorney during that? Meanwhile, they tell all of their victims, all right? We're not their clients, we're their fucking victims, okay? Get this defending us bullshit out of your fucking head. There is no consequence for them for fucking losing. Even if it's a fucking blatant denial of our fucking rights as a human being, our public pretenders will always look the other way. It all starts with the police not doing their job for men. It all starts with the police being taught how to be a militant agency towards homeless men in specific. These are the men they are taught to target because these are the men that you hate the most. Those who are victimized by gold diggers and twisted individuals into homelessness. And then, for surely their guilt is assumed. You can see how all of my predators use the term mentally ill. You get to see how the media pushed that, how social media pushed that, how the police pushed that. And when that didn't work, the people who had committed felonies against me, that I was very loud and proud about what they did and speaking up about it. And doing so publicly because I'm not a coward. One of my public pretenders literally told me that they trade cases with the prosecution like baseball cards. Why wasn't I able to record that despite the fact that I owned recording equipment? Because I was locked up in jail and didn't have the money to bail myself out. Meanwhile, every crime that I have committed, I have only committed out of necessity. Because I have to deal with drunks and alcoholics and literally women. Before you go pretending that that's sexist, women are taught differently than we are. Let me show you the kind of shit that we're teaching women. This is supposedly a chemistry book. This is a free book at the library. I figured I'd grab it. I'd like to learn me some chemistry. Small problem with this. That's not the book that it is. The Big Book of Girl Stuff by Bart King and His Five Sisters. Illustrations by Jennifer Callis. Now this is a horrible book. It says for Lynn, the best girl of art. But it starts off good. Let's look at this. Acknowledgements, girl introduction, adult introduction, babysitting, girl power, boys, Friends, cliques, secrets, and gossip. Fun stuff to do, and I'm going to give you a hint that involves friends, cliques, secrets, and gossip. Secrets don't make friends, huh? But friends make secrets, right? I believe in doing the honorable thing, and this book is anything but. And we can open it up and read a little bit of this stuff, but so far it's just been biased sexism for everything that I've read. It is literally a book teaching girls how to be superficial. It's horrible. Now there's so much of this stuff in here. I'm probably gonna give an entire section on it, but we're gonna look at the part for boys. All right, let's see. This is how boys are explained to girls. Their brains are full of gross jokes, things that explode, girls, sports, video games, macho stuff, food, wedgies, acting cool. There's this little teeny tiny part that says deep thoughts. The whole book is like that. Many of my DAs were women. All they did was try to convince me or bully me or harass me or just not show up over and over and over again. They didn't care what happened to me. They didn't care what actually happened. They didn't care about any of the evidence. What they cared about was literally not doing their fucking jobs. They literally made zero effort to collect any of the evidence, to requisition any of the evidence. They outright fucking refused. And then they played the mentally ill thing when I told them that they were fucking fired. No, you do not get to help the fucking prosecution and still maintain pretending to be my fucking public pretender. When you're homeless, that's what every public pretender is. A pretender. I wonder how many public pretenders end up blowing their brains out. Probably none. If they had any fucking remorse, they'd have done their fucking job to begin with the first time they realized they'd fucked up, instead of making a goddamn career of it. A career of victimizing the homeless for profit. They give a shit about people in houses, not the homeless. The homeless are all mentally ill, according to the courts, according to the cops, according to public pretenders, according to the DA. The public pretenders literally made zero effort to do a goddamn thing to fucking defend me. All they did was slander me and fucking bully me and help my aggressors. Help my predators. Help the police to commit felonies against me and get away with them. Because they didn't want to do their jobs for me because they had an overwhelming caseload. All of them told me this. Every public pretender that I got told me they couldn't defend me because they have an overwhelming caseload. I had to defend myself in Rawlins, Wyoming to get myself out of fucking jail. What did my public fucking pretender there do? Well, when he was only able to get a hold of me by mail, and I had informed him of that, he didn't try to get a hold of me by mail. When I got a phone and was able to be contacted by phone, I let him know that the only way that He could contact me because I didn't have an address at that point. It was by phone, and he literally, at that point, would only send stuff to my old address. He didn't care what was going on, didn't care to hear my story. He just wanted to talk over me. He didn't give a fuck what happened, and he needed to get started on getting that fucking evidence. All he would have had to do is fucking requisition that evidence, and they would have dropped the charges immediately. Our public pretenders don't even pretend to defend us, you pieces of shit. When you say get a lawyer, lawyers will not pick up a fucking homeless man's case, you fucking idiot. Neither will the ACLU. Once in a while, they do 1 or 2 charity cases. 1 or 2 for the homeless. Usually it's a woman. Because just like everywhere else in America, the ACLU is sexist, biased, and racist. Because I'm not black. Because I'm not a woman. They simply don't care. Criminal acts were committed against me and continue to be committed against me by law enforcement. And they can utilize the courts over and over again and their position of power to threaten, harass, and intimidate me over and over again. By refusing to do an investigation against any of the officers who have committed crimes against me, I'm literally forced to go back to those same officers to try to turn in crimes committed against me. My own public pretenders engaged in threats, harassment, and intimidation. Repeatedly lied to me, repeatedly talked over me, and repeatedly didn't show up for court. No call, no show. Repeatedly. For the situations there was someone there to be a witness, you're goddamn right, I got the messages and the phone calls recorded with those witnesses in those witnesses' own voices. But I have no place to process it in peace and fucking quiet. The library is not an okay place. This is going to take a lot of fucking time, and I am fucking disabled as all hell. But I can't get a regular doctor because I'm homeless and a male. I have to worry about getting treated like a goddamn junkie. And police play on that, and they play on the mentally ill tag, and they play on the fact that hospitals and hospital workers are just going to believe them. None of them are going to listen to the goddamn victim. My friends didn't care, my family didn't care. My public defenders do not care. The police do not fucking care. Nobody cares who fucking hurts me. Take a look at the situation with Shannon Alvarado. What's more important, my life or her booze? Hiding her booze. I had to remove bags and bags and bags and bags of garbage from that room. You literally could not open the door when I got there. Shannon Alvarado had told me if I made it to California, she's got a room for me. A room I can use. When I got there, she was right. There was a room there I could use. And I had to do a lot of work just to get the fucking door open. And then I had to clean out so many bottles of alcohol that Shannon Alvarado wanted to blame on her ex. Oh, it's all her ex's alcohol that he was hiding in there because he was an alcoholic. Shannon Alvarado should have been in contact with me and with Adult Protective Services and the police as soon as she exposed Kara Johnson Miles, and Kara Johnson Miles went and hid like a fucking rat. The thing is, it needed to be turned into the police. It needed to be fucking exposed. And she never helped me expose it. Yes, she took some screenshots and sent it to me. And then wanted to make an argument and turn my words into something they weren't. Like, Shannon, calm the fuck down. Knock it off with your crazy cockamamie goddamn bullshit. Knock it the fuck off. Stop trying to push me into a fucking paranoid frenzy, you stupid cunt. How was I not supposed to be paranoid with all these people telling me that, well, these web sleuth peoples and the Bollingers and the police were threatening them and their friends and families and their children? But not a goddamn one of these people ever helped me to turn that in. Ever. Not one ever tried. Not a single fucking one. And then they treat me like I'm the bad guy. Because I told the fucking truth. No. You're horrible. Horrible people. Even if Shannon was listening, she was going out of her way to not listen. Like she said, oh, well, I'll just put my microphone on mute. Like, that doesn't make it so that you listen. And then she takes it off of mute and she's arguing with somebody in the background. I'm like, she's not hearing a word I fucking say. She calls me up all angry. She'll type nice things, and then she'll make this big old long recording that's fucking mean as shit. And she'll make a bunch of them. But she'll hide them like a rat. And of course, it's all victim blaming. She wants to blame me because she didn't fucking listen. Everyone blames me when they just talk over me. And instead of trying to understand, they're going out of their way to be as disrespectful as fucking possible. Just like the DAs repeatedly not showing up. Mr. Tombleson went with me. Steve Tombleson. Recording with him is on this channel. There's also the stuff with Graham Milbourne, but Graham Milbourne's a fucking idiot. Like most people. He doesn't listen worth a fuck. And of course, all these people, when they do fucking lazy, fucked up shit, when they promise to help me, and then I literally have to pay them a bunch of money, and they still don't follow through. They're just taking advantage of me. And who do I go to? The police aren't going to listen to me. I have to go to somebody else to get them to go with me so that I'm not talked over by the police. When I have to go to a doctor, I need someone to go with me so that I'm not talked over. When I tell about the abuse that I've gone through and how I got my injuries. The thing is, Shannon Alvarado could have helped me to turn this in. Way back when she first started sending me friend requests and messages. She could have, at any point in time, just as anyone else could have, helped me to turn it in right away instead of fucking arguing. If you have the time to fucking argue, you have the time to turn it in. If you have the time to talk, you have the time to listen. Don't tell me you don't have time, you pieces of shit. Because I didn't have a friend or family member who fucking cared. These fucking pieces of shit got to break the law feloniously, repeatedly, by using the term mentally ill. And magically, all my rights were yanked away. All these people who claimed that they tried this and they tried that. Well, you know what? Did they ever come forward with it in court? Did they ever fucking try? No! Not fucking one of them ever did. And none of the ones that claim they did ever showed even one piece of fucking evidence to substantiate their claims. I have to do everything. I have to record it. I have to be the one to use my fucking brain. Now, how many of you women are so mentally fucking retarded that you don't realize that recording abusers is pretty fucking important? That I'm sending you evidence that I told the truth. That I'm sending you evidence of fucking abuse. And you literally never, ever try to turn it in. You just give me empty promises, empty words. And then when you don't keep your words, you play fucking victim. Not fucking okay. My primary predators are women. And all of the predators that I have that are not women are over lying ass druggy women in houses who are young and pretty, who had boys throwing at them left and right, giving them free things. All those three women ever got out of me was friendship. When they were girls, they weren't going to get that. I didn't even know their names when they were underage. I just wanted them out of there, away from the predators, and not making all homeless people look bad. We don't get to choose whether or not those little girls come down to the public places that we are forced to live in. Why do we live in congregations if we're able to? Because at least, hopefully, there's witnesses when we're harmed. Those witnesses are still going to watch and let it happen. They're not going to do a goddamn thing to stop it. They're just going to allow people like Tim Beeson and Ted Bollinger do what they do. Just going to keep allowing Alicia Michelle Bollinger and Natalie Bollinger and Maddie Boa. And of course, women will play stupid, won't they? Of course they do. It's because they're taught that we're stupid. Like they have to reinterpret everything for us because we're retarded dogs. And meanwhile, we got these DAs, stands for dumbasses. We're covering up for rotten fucking cops. It makes them all money to railroad the homeless. You know, they get paid over $100,000 for locking up a homeless person for 1 year. That's an entire officer's wages for a year. An officer here in Tillamook, depending on how long he or she has been here, will make over $100,000. It costs the American taxpayers over $100,000 to keep a homeless person incarcerated for a year. And public pretenders are doing what about it? Telling the victims there's nothing they can do about it. Telling the victims it's not their job. Telling the victims it's not their job to collect evidence, requisition evidence, or ask for the body cameras. My public pretenders literally did everything they could to drag it out beyond when they were legally allowed to. I was literally forced, tortured, physically, psychologically, and sexually, into signing papers because I had no friend or family member who cared to help me turn it in. They just pretended that they would. This is killing people nationwide. It's destroying their credit. It's destroying their ability to make a living. It destroys their credibility. It makes them a perpetual victim for the rest of their life because you called them mentally ill. Congratulations, fuckhead. Welcome to the downfall of the United States. You can thank women for it. We have given women everything that we have. They don't have to work nearly as hard. We're told that we're supposed to accept that she painted herself up like a clown for our expectations. I never asked anyone to dress up like a clown. Could we possibly, I don't know, just be humans and have a human experience? Instead of having any expectations whatsoever. Why don't you understand that that other person is a person? They're not a commodity. Our intellectual brain space is bigger than this right here, okay? Okay. Now here's the thing, if we only have that much space for deep thought, and we're constantly rescuing y'all for your own stupidity, your own ignorance, that's what it's treated as if we're men. Oh, you're a man who got raped at a party? You shouldn't have been there. Women don't like being treated like men. My public pretenders were shit. And most of them were women. All throughout the process, committing felonies. Meanwhile, the people that were there for those things, I had to record them on YouTube because they never once helped me to turn it in. We were literally in the courthouse. In the courthouse, me and Steve Tomlinson. And could have turned it in right then and there. But I had to do things based on what Steve Tomlinson wanted to do. I had to respect it. Well, hopefully he respects what I've had to do to try to show the truth. With all due respect, people don't get to threaten to kill my niece and my sister and get away with it. They especially don't get to get away with doing it over and over again. They especially have no right to fucking complain after what they've put me through. Or how they've slandered my name to try to paint me as the bad guy. Oh, hell no. People threatened to fucking kill my family. They actually assaulted me on more than one occasion. I couldn't even go see my friends and family. But none of you care to help me to turn it in. And the DA is not going to do their job unless a friend or family member is involved. A doctor is not going to do their job unless there's a friend or family member involved. But my friends and family members, although they did get involved at various points, they didn't make any effort to turn it in. And as a result, I got railroaded in court over and over and over again. Each of these people claiming it's not their fault. Then you get to see how the problems I have. I'm bullied when other people have those problems. Those officers have problems hearing me because of traffic. I can raise my voice so they can hear me. They're playing stupid. I've got to deal with that everywhere I go because I live in public. When you want to tell me to go to the library, do you not understand what it is that I need to do to turn in these fucking predators? Meanwhile, how many of my predators have ended up dead versus how many of my friends ended up dead? Natalie Bollinger wasn't the only fucking druggy idiot who was a female who ended up dead. There's also Ran Ingersoll. Fucking booze, man. Christine Bouhit overdosing on fentanyl. Probably got it from George. Possibility she got it from TJ. She claims that she never got anything from TJ.